Club 2 of Unemployed to Legend begins right now. We have taken over at Watford Football Club with the sole aim given by the board, and our aim as well, of getting this club back into the Championship, having just been relegated to League 1. Hello, for those of you who are just jumping onto the series for the first time. If you are new to the series, because this is of course episode 1, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you are well informed of when these episodes will drop. I also invite you to check out the Kingsland Town stints that we had just done as well. It was a lot of fun. For those of you who are continuing over from Kingsland Town, welcome across. Here's hoping for great success for us here at Watford, and I'm hoping that you enjoy as well. Right. With all the admin out of the way, let's familiarise ourselves with this club and the players that we are hopefully going to be keeping or selling on. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Craig Walsh has left Kingsland to join divisional rivals Watford. Yeah, bear in mind, Kingsland will be in League 1 along with Watford this season. Walsh lifted the Sky Bet League 2 of Kingsland in April and will now be afforded the chance to enhance his reputation by bringing success to his new club. Questions were raised as to why Walsh made the decision to take up a different job within the same division. Because Watford is a bigger club with more money. I think that's kind of speaking for himself. But he will face pressure to bring immediate success to Vicarage Road, given his former employers and previous standing. Richie Wellens was the favourite apparently for the job. Oh well. I rejected the offer from Sunderland Women. Yes, I did. Purely because of the money, let's be honest. Kingsland will now be looking for a new manager. Watford were relegated from the Championship after losing their last 4 games of the season. So a club who are not exactly in the happiest of places at the moment. Relegated from the Championship. In fact, can we see that Championship table? I think they went down just about. So 3 points from safety. They've gone down alongside Millwall and Plymouth. 2 jobs I did actually apply for as well. Actually did. Yeah, I did. But Watford were the ones who got in first. And to be honest, I think with Watford, we'll probably have a better chance of actually coming back up. A team you'd expect to be in at least the Championship. Finances-wise, I said there was more money. £6 million in the bank. We are overspending on the wages though. My God, 653,000. I tell you what, this is a world away. What's that, 10 times more than what we would have had at Kingsland? I mean, they're still compliant with FFP in League 1. So, FFP regulations require the club to keep player wages below 800,000. Oh, it's based on turnover. Right, that makes more sense. With currently spending NA. Well, because the season hasn't ticked over yet. Alright, so we're well within the FFP at the moment. We are over the wages by 120,000, but we do have transfer budget. We'll see what we can do with the wages first before we even spend any of this. But we've given ourselves a bit of leg room for actually spending and getting some players in who might help us in League 1. Well, they have to help us in League 1. We've also got debts and loans. So 2.9 million on transfer debt. If we were in the Championship, that wouldn't be too bad. But in League 1, that's a problem. Net debt of £66 million. Wow, all these loans. I mean, oh my God, they're going for another 25 years. That is obscene. Right. They took these out in the last year. That's horrendous. Wow. So they've been relegated and they've got massive debts. This is a club on a downward spiral right now. And we've got players unhappy. Obviously, because they've been relegated. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. There's 42 players. What? Why is there 42 players in this squad? And half of them don't even look that good. What on earth? What have they been collecting here? How many of them are expiring? So, 2029. Looks like a good chunk of them are expiring. 18, right. So that's 24. Plus the loans. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's... Hang on. 18 players, 4. That's 22 players who will actually leave. So we'll have a squad of 20 come the end of the month. And if there's any loans who are going to be coming back. Any loans around? Oh gosh, yeah, there's quite a few coming back. There's been about 8 players. So we're looking at about 28 players. Oh, that's so many. We're going to need to get rid of quite a few players. Nathan Zeze is the best player though at the club. A 23-year-old centre-back, a French centre-back. 4 stars of accountability, 4.5 stars of potential. Championship standard, I bet? Oh my god, he's Premier League. He can't stay, surely. What's his wages? No. This man is not on 140,000 a week. He can't stay. We can't be playing. We can't pay someone that money in League One. We can't pay someone that money in League One. Okay, there's a relegation wage drop, but no. Active relegation release clause 15 million or 15.75 million. Anyone wants to pay that? Absolutely fine, you can have him. We cannot be paying 140,000, or even after a wage drop, what's that still going to be? 100,000, something like that? He can't stay here. He's an excellent player for this level, but not a chance we can keep him. He will bankrupt the club. Imran Loser. I remember this name, that's why I know to pronounce it as Loser. Is it Loser or Louser? I'm going to say Loser. I mean, he's in this squad at the moment. It would make sense. 4-star accountability and nothing more potential because he's a 30-year-old Moroccan midfielder. He is also Premier League standard. He's probably not going to stay here. His wages are 41,000. Okay, that's a bit better. I would kind of expect that from a Championship player. Oh, he's been here for a long time. He was here when Watford were last in the Premier League. That's how long he's been here. Fair enough. He's been very loyal. Whether he stays or not is going to be a different question. Georgie Chavetas. Just going to call him Georgie. Sorry, I need to learn how to pronounce his name. Whether he stays or not is going to be another question. Leading Championship player. He may or may not stay then. He's a winger. And he's been at Watford for a long time as well. Since they were in the Championship. 850,000 he arrived for. Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of these players are going to be excellent players for this level. But seriously, how many of them are we realistically going to keep? Who was the top scorer last season? Mamadou Dumba. 11 goals for Watford last season for the 23-year-old Malian international. Striker. Yeah, again, he's going to be very, very good. Championship player, of course. He's been at Watford. He's at Watford in real life, actually. And he's a regular. Whether he wants to stay or not is going to be another question. I mean, there's clubs who want him on loan. No, you're going to buy... If you want him, you can buy him. Apparently, he's not one of the unhappy ones. Alright, if you can stay, absolutely fine. Oh my god, we've only had 2 players hit double figures and they're both strikers. So we might need to do everything we can to keep them. Luca Kerungard. 26-year-old Danish striker, 3.5 stars accountability, nothing more. He's a good Championship player as well. Been at Watford a few years. He's arrived from Udinese, effectively. Now, Udinese, one of our affiliate clubs. I seem to remember that. They are an affiliate club with someone in England. It might be Watford. I'll have to have a look at that. He has scored a bunch of goals, though, for Watford. If we can keep him, I think we can get him scoring. He's a poacher or target forward. Like 6'3", he could be a target forward or deep line forward. Everyone else, they can't score. It's like the next person down is Nathan Zeze, who's a centre back at 3 goals. I think that says everything. They clearly struggled for goals last season. That is really, really bad. We've got another Jamaican player in the squad, Nathan East. 19-year-old Jamaican winger. 3 stars accountability, 5 stars of potential though. Decent Championship player, potentially Premier League. Hello. One of Watford's own. It's Watford's version of Carl Daly at this point. He's under contract for 2 more years. 2.9k a week. See, that's the sort of wages I can get behind. For a good player as well. Who's the youngest player in the squad? Nathan East and Amer Alonzi. Both 19. So the squad is quite old then, in that case. 19-year-old right winger. So you know what? I think we have our future future wingers. Good League One player, potentially Premier League. Okay, alright. We might have our wingers. Also from Watford's academy as well. Both of them made their debuts last season in a relegation year. I suppose they had nothing to lose realistically, did they? He does whatever he has, whatever he needs to do, he does it quite well. We'll see about him, but Nathan East, he's strong left-footed. Okay. We'll see what we can do with him. We'll see what we need to sort out this squad anyway. It is completely mismatch. I mean, you got someone called Ollie Stevenson, who's a half a star in this squad. What on earth is he doing here? He's 22 years old. What money is he on? Okay, he's on 3. I was going to say, if he was on like 20 grand a week, I would literally have just yeeted him out the door. I mean, the wages down here are not the stupidest in the world. That's fine. But the wages for some of these players, 140,000. Zeze is going to go. Loser might go as well, depending if anyone wants him and willing to pay money for him. Does he have a relegation release clause? I imagine a lot of them are going to. 14.75. If we could get, say, 30 million for these two, oh my goodness, that is rebuild money. Not just for League One, but even the Championship. Right, I'm going to have to work out what to do with these players. I'll also have a look through the under-21s. Not going to do it right now, but I will have a look off camera for under-21s, and there's quite a few players who are coming back from loan. In fact, Kevin Caben, he's a centre-back. Cameroonian international. This might be the Zeze replacement, and he's already... Is he under contract? He's under contract next season. Okay, so he's a good Championship player. He's been on loan at Sturm Graz in Austria, fair enough. And ironically, we brought him in from Toulouse a few years ago, in real life as well. Toulouse, one of the clubs that I applied for, and they turned me down. That's a shame. Okay, so we may have the Zeze replacement already. In fact, I'm going to move him into the senior squad. He'll be back at the end of the month. I'll have a look to see who else will actually be worth it as well. Just want to have a look at the transfer history. How much have they been spending? So they made a transfer profit in the first season. Okay, about £7 million. Made a transfer profit in the second season. Okay, they have money. That's absolutely fine. And then they just spent all of it in this summer of 2027. Who was that on? That was Nathan Zeze. 17 million, right. And they didn't get anything back in, realistically. And then a transfer profit last season as well. They are making transfer profit, but then they make stupid decisions when it comes to actually, buying players. Which is which is pretty much on brand of Watford's. I wonder if they're trigger happy with their managers as well. In fact, we can have a look at that. Oh my god. Okay, you can see that. 10 managers. That's just in this series. That's just since the save has started. So let's have a look. Javi Gracia, who was sacked in January 2026. I think that actually happened in real life as well, which is ironic. Caretaker manager. Then Ryan Lowe, who lasted 98 days. That's not even enough, man. And then Alfred Schroeder, who lasted the year 174. Won a league title, apparently. Oh, he won league. They were in League One as well. So they actually went up from League One 2 years before this. Okay, so they're just bouncing between League One and the Championship. I'm just the next in a line of managers trying to get them back up into the Championship. Then he resigned, actually. He wasn't sacked, he resigned. Antonio Gallardi, who lasted 322 days and was sacked. And then Mark Bonner last season, who lasted 156 days. So he was sacked at the end of the season. Right. He's the man who got them ready. Wow. That's a bit harsh. They were probably on the way down anyway. Affiliated clubs. Here we go. I said I'd check it. A bunch of low league clubs. And then Udinese. Right. I think it's suppose the owners of Watford own Udinese as well, isn't it? I suppose if we can get any players on loan from Italy, that will help. But what I am going to be doing first... And do you know what? Actually, I need to sort out tactics as well. So... I'm thinking 4-3-3 probably, especially if a loser does stay. We'll have a defensive midfielder. Then again, can he play there? He can. We are going to need some wingers though. But I think for the moment, a tiki-taka. Flipping heck. Are we going to go tiki-taka in League One? I don't know actually. You know what? We will for the moment. We'll just see how it works. 4-3-3 defensive midfield wide. Oh, that's... Yep, this is in possession. And then a 4-1-4-1 out of possession. I think this is the sort of thing we did at Kings Lynn Town. Obviously, though, Kings Lynn, we had a attacking midfielder instead of a defensive midfielder. Okay, so I think at the moment, this will probably change. We will be going with a 4-3-3 as a formation. Like I said, depends on the players that we're actually going to have at the start of the season. The season obviously hasn't ticked over yet. I will come back at the start of July just to show you any potential progress that has actually been made, especially with the sale of quite a few players. I'm looking at you as a loser, probably. Who knows? Let the rebuild begin. Well, it's now the beginning of July, and normally that would mean free transfers. But now that we've actually got some money here at Watford, lovely, that means we can actually go out and potentially sign any good players, as long as it's a good deal, of course. Because, as I showed earlier on, finances, they're actually now a lot higher because we have managed to get rid of some players. More on that in a bit. But we've now got £7.3 million in the transfer budget. I didn't think it would actually be that high. That is fantastic. Also, we've got the wages down so much that we've got £82,000 spare. And if we compare that to FFP, still, as long as we're still below £800,000 a week on player wages, apparently we're not spending anything. How does that work then? FFP confuses me, it really does. Scouting wise, we've got 360,000 of that available, which means I have a worldwide package for the first time in this series, so really, really happy about that. And the big reason we got rid of a lot of the wages was because we got the squad way, way down in terms of numbers. We had 42, I think, when I first took over. It is now 23. It's a combination of players either being sold on, going out on loan, or they've just been released at the end of their contracts. So that means we are left with just these 23 players, which is a complete mix of young and experienced players. We don't actually have anybody over the age of 31 currently, because I've been hemorrhaging down a lot of the older guys. They've all gone, contracts expired. So we've got a few younger players in, particularly youth players from the under-21s. So Nathan East and Amer Alonzi, we've already introduced you to. Amer Alonzi, though, I don't know why I bothered, because he's actually going for £3.4 million. A bunch of clubs have all triggered his release clause. Yeah, Leicester City, Sunderland, Burnley, all Premier League teams. So unfortunately, Alonzi won't be sticking around, which is a bit of a shame. Nathan East will hopefully stick around. We've then got Bailey Chaffee, one of our youth players, 19-year-old English left winger, 2 stars of accountability, 4.5 stars of potential. He's already a decent League One player, which is very, very handy. And he's only really had a loan spell. Actually, he's played for Watford in the Championship, so fair enough. He's got some experience here, but he was on loan at Crewe last season in League Two, so that experience will hopefully go well for him. The fact that Watford have gone down a league means any players in the youth setup, we can bring up some of them because they'll be good enough for this level. Lewis Doyle, a 19-year-old English left winger as well. We've got quite a few wingers who are actually good at this club. It's a 2.5 star capability, 4.5 star potential winger as well. Good for League One, potentially Premier League, as was Chaffee before him as well. He's not of Watford's academy, actually. He is formerly of South Shields. Watford pay a very modest fee for him last season. That was just last season they did. And he spent last season on loan at League Two Fleetwood. So, again, getting experience. He's now good enough for this level. And finally, you've got Marley Dixon, 19-year-old English right back. Ignore the fact he's going to be a wing back. He is going to be a right back. He is a 19-year-old English right back, 2.5 stars of accountability, only 3.5 stars of potential. So he's probably not going to develop that much more, although he is still showing Premier League potential, which is very, very nice. League One as well, but current ability. He is from Watford's academy, was on loan at Rochdale last season. Played very, very well in League Two. I think Rochdale were not too far behind us in the end. Did they get promoted? No, they didn't. Alright, so I think they got to the playoffs, or around the playoffs last season. So, not too bad. A few youngsters in the squad. Everybody else, a few of them we've already been introduced to. Of course, Nathan Zeze is still here. The man who was on 140,000 a week. He's now only on 105,000. The relegation wage drop came in as per his contract, so he's only on a modest 105,000 a week. It's still too much for League One. If he does go, fantastic, but again, clubs are going to have to shell out his release clause, which is a relegation release clause of £15.75 million. So they're going to have to shell out for that. Kevin Keben, I think he's someone that I showed who was on loan last season. I don't know why. He's more than good enough for... He's a decent Premier League player. I don't know if he's still going to be here. In fact, he was on loan at Sturm Graz in Austria last season, and he's already unhappy about not being able to go to a Premier League side. So if someone bids £3.1 million for him, I'll let him go. And there's quite a few clubs who already want him. Mostly Championship clubs and a Ligue 2 club as well in Metz. He's holding out for Le Havre in France, so whether they get him or not, I have no idea. As far as recruitment goes, we have made a few signings. In fact, it's probably easier for us to go through the players who we got rid of first, because there's been quite a few already. So mostly loans. In fact, I don't think... Yeah, here we go. One person has... two people have left permanently. Everybody else is a loan. I probably won't bother going through those at the moment because they're a bunch of youth players or players who were out on loan last season anyway. But Imran Louza, 30-year-old Moroccan midfielder, he wanted to go after relegation, so we have sold him on to Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship for £8 million. It's a loss for Watford overall. Doesn't matter to me. I've only just arrived. I'm trying to raise some funds here and get the wage bill down a lot. He was on $40,000 a week. He's taken a pay cut to go to the Championship, and he's still at the Premier League level. So had he stayed around, he would have been a good player for us, but wages wise, unless your name is Zeze, I don't really want to keep someone on that amount of wages. Nathan Broom is a goalkeeper who we've let go to Celtic on a free. His contract wasn't up, but he's just not good enough. I mean, nowhere near good enough. He's a National League goalkeeper. Celtic wanted to take him in, and we just said, okay, gets him off the wage bill. I think he was on £10,000, £11,000 a week, which is stupid for a player with disability. So that's just a handy amount of wages that we have taken off. As for players who have come in, only one came in. And I went back to Kings Lynn Town for this one. Carl Daly has joined us at Watford. He has joined us for a very modest £375,000, which it does actually help out Kings Lynn because their debt was around £400,000 by the time I left. He has gone back to Kings Lynn on loan. They're in League One anyway this season, so he'll get experience at this level. We've still got quite a few strikers as it stands, so he was just going to be on the bench at the very most. So let him go out, have a season as a regular starter at Kings Lynn, and then he'll come back to us next season and we'll see where we are with him. But who knows, maybe he's someone that we just bring along with us everywhere we go, our young protege. So Carl Daly, yeah, he doesn't look fantastic compared to the other players we have here at Watford, but look at the value that he has, £8 to £9.4 million. I mean, at the very least, if we do flip him on, then we'll just make a nice little profit out of him. Personally, I wouldn't want to do that, but we'll see how things go. I think that's it for signings in June, yes. So, two more signings other than that. Firstly, Noah Kinsona? Noah. Yeah, he's not one of my signings. He was someone who was here on loan last season, and looked like they had a mandatory fee as part of the contract, so he arrived for £1.1 million, and he didn't even perform that well last season in the Championship. Yeah, not one of my signings. He'll stay for now because obviously he's just arrived, but I don't, unless that we get a horrendous injury list, I don't think he's going to be playing a stupid amount of games for us. I could be wrong though, but at the moment not looking promising. We've also got a new starter goalkeeper in, Callan McKenna. 3 stars accountability, 4 stars of potential for the Scottish 22-year-old goalkeeper. Currently leading Championship players, so very good goalkeeper for this level. We've brought him in from Dunfermline. Actually, no, we brought him in for Bournemouth. He was on loan at Dunfermline up in Scotland last season. Had a decent season, 11 clean sheets in 26 league games. Yeah, I think we've got 2 very good goalkeepers here. There was the other guy who was already here as well. What is his name? Where is he? Nathan Baxter's our 3rd keeper. Egil Selvik. He's actually the starter, so McKenna is going to be the backup or the cup goalkeeper, if you will. But Selvik will start the season. If he doesn't perform, he's leading League One as it is. If he doesn't perform, then we'll go to McKenna. Not a problem. So goalkeepers we should be sorted for this season. And in terms of what I'm actually looking for, well, what I'm still looking for, this summer. Quite a few positions actually. Firstly, is we'll take out all the free agent players because they're not even part of the squad. We still need another 1 or 2 left backs because we've only got Jaden Magoma, who is good enough for this level, but well, it's good enough for the championship. But obviously, any injuries, we're going to need someone to step in for him. Centre back, we are going to need, I think maybe one more, especially if Zeze leaves, even Kevin. If they both leave, we need another 1 or 2 centre backs. So I'm still in the market for at least 1 more or even 2 more centre backs. Right back, we do have 3 in, but I'm in the market for another right back as well. Mainly because I messed up with Jeremy Ngakia. Because I was going to sell him on for about, I think, £7-8 million. Only for the squad to turn around and say, why are you selling our best right back? He's a Premier League level player. Okay, leading championship player. But still, far too good for this level, and I was basically cashing in. But I've now had to promise, even though I took away the transfer offer that actually came in for him, and he hasn't kicked up a fuss, in all fairness to Ngakia. He's been okay. He's not kicked up any fuss about wanting to leave. He's going to be our starter, but we now need to go and strengthen right back because I've made a promise to the squad in order to keep them happy. Because this squad are obviously in abysmal morale at the moment. They've just been relegated and now they're scared that the whole team is going to get ripped apart. And Ngakia's been here since Watford were last in the Premier League, by the way. That's incredible. Great loyalty by him. Defensive midfielder as well. Probably in the market for 1 more. Midfield as well. In the market for 1 or 2 more. In particular because Pierre Duoma, I think he's good enough, but yeah, he's good enough for this level. But again, if we get any injuries, we're going to be massively exposed. Noah is not my signing. Reagan Slater's going to be a defensive midfielder most likely, although he can play everywhere. I've not actually looked at this bit properly. He can play everywhere, so that's going to be very, very handy. But yeah, 1 or 2 more midfielders we will need. Left wingers. We've got a bunch of youngsters on this side. We probably need an experienced hand over there. As for the right wing, I will probably need 1 more right winger as well. Iran Kunda, the Australian international. 23 years old, very good physically on the wing. Technical and mentally he's not strong at all, which is a bit of a problem. He's a decent Premier League player though, however, which kind of surprises me. Okay. He's been here since more or less the start of the save actually, so he's actually here in real life. And he's also wanted. He's wanted on loan by Mets. It's fine. He'll be a starter on the right wing, but I just think we need somebody else with a bit more potential than him as well. Alonzi, I've already said, is probably going to leave. And Mama off main. Mama is going... Actually, you know what? He's not going. He's staying because he's a League 1 player. He's a League 1 quality player. He'll be fine. But I think we need 1 more winger. Maybe someone who can play both sides. And then you've got up front, which is okay. I mean, Alonzi's going to be leaving. I don't know why I'm keeping him in. We've got 4 half-decent strikers, which is the main reason Carl Daly's out on loan, because he's not going to beat these 3 of these 4 guys anyway. So let Daly go out, have a season with Kings Lynn, and then come back and we'll see what the striker situation is, because these guys hopefully will be scoring the goals for us this season, especially this guy, Mamadou Dumba, Malian international. He's the top scorer, I think, from last season. 11 goals for Watford in the Premier League. In the Championship, he was their top scorer last season. And the same can be said of Luca, bear with me here, Luca Karungard, Danish striker. He scored about 9 goals in the Championship for Watford last season. So they're our top scorers. Hopefully they'll do a better job in League 1. Otherwise, I will be desperately going into the transfer market. Saying that though, with that £7.38 million, I'm probably going to be having a look at strikers anyway, let's be honest. But at the moment, midfield, fullbacks, wingers are my priority. Centre-backs, if I can get one, actually centre-back, I need 1 more as well. Striker, if I find one that is actually worth paying any money to bring in. Goalkeepers, we should be set. So we got a month before the start of the season. We do start against Portsmouth on the 4th of August. So a lot of work still to be done. Let's get to it. And just like that, we are at the start of the season. A few seconds for you, several hours for me. But we have made a lot of signings since you were last with me. So I think we got up to as far as Kinsona, who, again, was a director of football signing. Actually, no, he wasn't. No, he was one of the clauses. I'm forgetting already. That's how long it's been. He was on loan here last season, and it was a mandatory fee that they had to pay. So we start from Matteo Mutarelli, who has arrived on loan from Udinese, who is one of our affiliates, naturally. I've got to take advantage of that. It's what Watford would do in real life anyway. 2.5 star accountability, 3.5 star potential. 21-year-old Italian central midfielder. He has some very good physicals, not too bad mentally, certainly not stupid. And whatever we need him to do technically, he does it very well. A leading player at this level in League One, potentially Premier League standard. We'll see. And he has played a few games in Serie A, so not too bad. I think he would actually make a very good addition to our squad, and he's hoping he will make a difference for us in getting promoted this season. Christian McFarlane, a free agent signing, the 22-year-old English centre-back/left-back, which is probably where he will play the most. 2 stars of accountability, but 4.5 stars of potential. Very good physically and mentally. He's average technically, and that's absolutely fine. Yes, he's a League 2 player, but he's got potential to improve, potentially to be a leading Premier League player. Again, we will see. Formerly of Manchester City and, of course, the entire City group, because he used to play for New York City FC. Not for the City of New York, but you get the idea. He's formerly of the City group. He's now left them and come to the absolute chaos that is Watford. More on that in a bit as well. Xavier Simons, not Xavier Simmons of Tottenham fame. Xavier Simons, a 26-year-old English defensive midfielder / central midfielder. 2.5 stars of accountability, 3 stars of potential. It's not really going to improve, but he is going to be potentially one of the main leaders of our squad. Very good mentally, still very good physically, and he's got some technicals to back it up as well. Leading player at League 1 level. And we bring him in from Bolton, where he has played at this level quite regularly over the last few years and in the Championship as well. So, experience at a higher level. He's going to be a very good find, I feel, for us this season. He basically gives us cover, or maybe even just a starter at defensive midfield. Mainly because one of our other players, we've got 2 other players at defensive midfield as well, who will probably see a lot of game time. So it's good competition all around. Jack Quirk is a 21-year-old English central defender at 6'4" and a jumping reach of 15. Take a guess why I brought him in. 2 stars of accountability, 4 stars of potential. We've brought him in from Birmingham City, who've just been relegated from the Premier League. Another good player for this level. He's been out on loan at Walsall last season in League 2, so he's got that Football League experience, which is exactly what we need. I've just realised actually, I brought in this centre-back and I'm looking to get another one in. But then that's because we've got 2 other centre-backs who are looking to leave in Keben and Zezi. More on that as well, because both of them are still here as it stands. Maybe not for long. Will Alves, a 24-year-old English left winger, we've brought in on a free from Leicester City. Leading League 2, but he'll improve. I think he'll be absolutely fine. I apologise, we did not bring him in for free. I'm losing track. We brought him in for £700,000. That's not even the record. Is that not the record signing that I've made? I don't think it is. I will have to double check that. But we bring him in from Leicester City. He has played in League 1 a couple of years ago for Sheffield Wednesday. He's actually played in the Championship as well for Leicester. So, yeah, he's got good experience overall at these 2 levels. Physically very good. Technically, what he needs to do, he does it fairly well. And he's got some decent mentals. He's got the flair as well, which is always a trait that I look for in my wingers. Pietro Traversa, £1.6 million signing from Italian Serie A. 20-year-old Italian central midfielder with 2.5 stars of accountability, 3.5 stars of potential. Another one who originally was going to be just to increase the squad depth in central midfield. No need for that. He's probably going to be starting. especially as he's excellent. Well, he's a very good player for this level. Potentially Premier League with a lot of room to grow. Formerly of Genoa, he has played in Serie A last season. Didn't do great, but we'll see what we can get out of him. I think we'll get a tune out of this guy. He'll grow with us. And actually, hang on. He's got the work rate, hasn't he? Yeah, and the teamwork. Fantastic. That's what I like to see in my midfielders. 2 right backs in Bradley de Jesus and Pablo Capilla Rivera. Bradley de Jesus, he is a 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential right back and left winger. Apparently he can play left wing better. He's probably going to be playing right back anyway. And he's a very good championship player. When we brought him in from Bolton, no we haven't, from Fulham. He was on loan at Bolton last season. £850,000. Yeah, we got the money here at Watford, so why not use it? And as for our other new right back, he's on loan from Porto, Pablo Capilla Rivera. His attributes are very impressive, certainly for a 20-year-old Belgian. Is he under 21 international? Have to have a look at that. He is. He's capped for Belgium. Brought him in from Porto, and he has played in Liga Portugal, the top league in Portugal, 7 times last season, and he did very well. As soon as I saw that, he's a player we had to bring in. Very good for this level, potentially Premier League, a lot of room to grow. We've got quite a few young players in here now who will hopefully be able to grow with us. Who the heck is this? Santiago Lodogno. He's on loan from Udinese. He's a director of football signing, isn't he? I honestly did not know this went through. We got a new director of football in this summer and he's already just gone out literally behind my back and just signed players. I mean, he looks very good. But did we need another striker? I mean, I'll be thanking my director of football if he bangs in 30 goals this season, but he's already injured for up to 3 weeks and he's literally, well, we're literally at the start of the season. So he's not even capped for Colombia under 21s or anything. He's good. Okay, he's a good championship player. Potentially Premier League. 21 years old, on loan from Udinese. Alright. I'll reserve judgment then. He's certainly got something about him. Let's see what he can do. As for players who went out, apart from quite a few loans of many of our loan players, Gabriel Ortelli, who was a 3rd backup keeper, and he's already injured, my goodness. Torn wrist ligaments. He's already left to go to Nia Salamina, who are in Cyprus. Fair enough. He's a Cypriot, that's why. That makes sense. He never really played for Watford, so he's not going to be much of a loss, hopefully. Others who have actually left, Galajevs. He left because he didn't get a work permit. And Amer Alonzi, I mentioned earlier on he was probably going to leave because of his release clause. He's done exactly that. £3.4 million to Fulham under 21s. Shock. It's a shame. I was going to play him this season, but he obviously went to go to the Premier League. Good luck to him, but he's going to be sitting in the under 21s probably for the next couple of years. How long's his contract? Enjoy the next 5 years in the under 21s somehow. But so far, that has been everyone who has gone. We also sold one, James Edmondson, for £500 to Amiens in France. He was a main squad player and he's good for our level, but he just wanted to leave. So I thought, okay, get what I can out of him. £500,000. He's worth apparently triple that. Whatever. I never saw him play. He's not one of my players. I don't really care too much. But what that does mean, we have, instead of a squad of 42, we have a squad of 28. Still quite a lot, but we've got a lot of games. 46 obviously in League One, but especially in August, September and October. These lower leagues are just a joke for the amount of games you've got to play. But we do have the first 2 games of the season coming up against Portsmouth and Huddersfield. That will be Monday's episode. So next episode, first games, not just in League One, but also with our new club. Finances wise as well, we've still got just under £10 million in the bank. Still meeting FFP, which is good. And we've still got £5.5 million available in the transfer budget. 39,000 on the wages. I've done really well to get those wages down. The relegation wage drops on these contracts have been an absolute godsend. And just before we go as well, just to check what our season prediction is going to be. So media prediction, top of the league, 1 to 2 odds of going up. Wow, we must be really strong. Millwall and Plymouth also came down, so they're They're thereabouts around the playoffs promotion spaces. As for Kings Lynn, who are also in the same division, they're not bottom. Predicted to finish 18th. That's excellent. Well done to them. We'll probably face them at some point in this season, and we'll have a look and see how their squad has changed. But for now, all eyes on the first 2 games of the season. Promotion is a must this season. So if you are looking forward to the new season coming up, and if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episodes coming out on Monday. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support on the series so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.